On October 5, 1744, a tempest was brewing in the British Canal. In sails set for Household following pursuit of France navy off the shore of Portugal, a troop of UK warships was in anxiety. For the rumoured down there was thing else on executive board that was perhaps lot more than economically considerable. As well lose how day was the at first named try to evolve and concept how is now utilized to manual all of submarines to satellites, of rovers on Mars to the telephone in your pouch. He was hard to resolve a severe issue. Encouraged by a kid's rotating top plaything, Serson wondered if he could build an synthetic skyline, thing how would remain standard, though as a vessel lurched and swayed about it. As the Gents Ammunition Depot recounts, he acquired a type of top gun, whose top shallow perpendicular line to the axe was a offering circular aircraft of polished metal, and found, as he had anticipated, how while the top was rapidly set in movement, its aircraft shallow would quickly be lateral. If the spinning aircraft were broken of its lateral stance, it would quickly restore it once again. Following impressive two top-ranking Marine commanders and an prominent mathematics, Serson was requested to do future observational data on board the HMS Win, or so died the impoverished Mr. Serson. Yet, a age after, Franz physic Leon Foucault would make a success prototyping relying on the identical concept that had charmed Serson. Foucault named his unit a gyro, of the Hellenic speech for rotate and watch, since he utilized it to research the land's rotating. It was a rotating disc installed in gimbals, a set of swivel supports how enable the disc to support its attitude independently of how the basis might be tilted about. Later electrical motors came on, importance the disc could rotation indefinitely. And pragmatic applications came heavy and quick. Sea vessels got feasible synthetic horizons and so did aeroplanes. In the previous 1900s, two inventors depicted out how to equalize the rotation to the land's polar south axle, give us the gyro. Unite these tool in other, accelerometers, magnetometers and you get a nice concept of that way up you are and in that line you are header. Nourish these removing in system how can year correct, and you include an plane's autopilot, a vessel's gyroscope stabilizer, and navigate system on space vehicle or rocket technology. Add in GPS, and you aware wherever you are. Down there is a range to how little you can do rotating discs in gimbals, but some technology developments include miniaturize the gyro. Vibratory microelectromechanical gyroscopes action just a few cube millimeters. Researchers are manufacturing a laser treatment-based gyro solvent rather than a humane wool. As these and some sensors include got less and more profitable, and computers more rapid, and batteries cigarette lighter, they include found uses of smartphones to micro-robots, game consoles and virtual fact headsets. An else technique about that down there is a special hum, the hum. The at first unmanned flying is frequently tracked to 1849, just 3 year up Foucault's gyro. Austria tested to assault Venice by locking bombs to balloons and wait for the breeze to strike in the order line. It was not a triumphant, several bombs landing in Austrian area. But war uses extended to driving hum technique. If you sought for drones in a news story file, before on 4 persons or 5 year back, you would discover how the top stories were on warfare. Later abruptly they begun creature on which do airspace regulation indicate for hobbyists, and how length up drones are supplying our food items. How is a big issue. Drones are now common of filming to movie making, they get immediate care supplies to difficult to reach places. But it is the usual, daily uses how pledge to be really transforming, flyer hour on the internet trading to us, or though flyer us, the China business hang is innovative drones how can conduct humane passengers. In village China, supply drones are start to see love a reshuffle technique, one how catches on largest rapidly wherever down there is not a competitive set infrastructure facilities, in the instance, of large box retailer store and roads for van deliveries. Zhengui, for example, is a countryside in Jiangsu provincial wherever few human beings own cars, and just part include fridges, but everyone has a telephone, and they use those mobiles to location orders at on the internet retail dealer for all of affordable nappies to crisp crabs. If drones are to get off more than wide, we will requirement superior solutions to the as-called recent me issue. In Zimbabwe, employs a humane to spread the crabs and the nappies to the villagers who orderly them, but in countries wherever labor is pricier, the recent miles are wherever supply expenses are concentration, automation and several trust bricks and mortar store could stop to already exist generally. But no is certainly exactly how might job. Do we wish our on the internet purchases parachuted in our behind gardens, or plunked on the roofs of our flat buildings? How on clever windows how can outdoor to let in drones while we are not at household? Later down there is else issue, the one how did for impoverished John Serson, the weather. If we are departure to trust on onboard deliveries, they will include to job in all facility. Will drones always swim storms how could plunge a battleship? Maybe later the pledge of the gyro will include really been executed.